They say love is beautiful when it's true. But they never talk about what happens when that truth is one-sided. My name is Amoka. I was the kind of girl who believed in love, in potential, in standing by someone even when life is punching both of you in the face. I met Toby at a roadside buka in Yoba. He was sitting on a bench outside with a tattered notepad, scribbling something with intensity. Our eyes met briefly, and I remember thinking, this one is either a genius or a dreamer. Turned out, he was both. Toby had just finished NYSC and was hunting for jobs. No car, no apartment of his own, just dreams, a worn-out laptop, an ambition the size of a mountain. But what drew me in wasn't the struggle, it was his fire. He talked like he had already made it, like Lagos would eventually kneel before him. Me. I had a steady job at a bank, not much, but enough. I wasn't rich, but I was stable. And when Toby talked about his dreams, I saw something in him that no one else did. Potential. Promise. Hope. I started buying him lunch. Then I helped him format his CV, paid for his transport to job interviews. Coached him for them too. When his phone spoiled, I bought him a new one. When his rent expired, I offered my place. I gave, not because I was desperate, but because I loved him. And he seemed to love me too. At first. We spent 2 years together, growing. Or so I thought. Toby eventually got a job with a fintech startup. It didn't pay much, but it was a start. I was so proud of him. I even posted him on Instagram with the caption, "My king is rising." People hailed me. Wife material, they called me. Some said, "No you dey try. God bless your patience." And I felt like it was finally paying off. He worked hard, learned fast, and before long, his boss started sending him to international conferences. He started talking differently, words like scale, equity, and valuation entered his vocabulary. I saw him transforming, and I encouraged it. I was always his cheerleader. But I also started noticing things. He stopped asking me how my day went. He stayed out late and said he was networking. He changed his passwords. He stopped touching me like before. The little things that made us began to disappear like a leaking tap, slowly, until the bowl was empty. Then it happened. Toby got an offer, big money. An international firm, dollars, a company apartment in Lekki, and a relocation allowance. I should have been happy. And I was. At first. I remember the day he told me. He took me to a fancy restaurant in Victoria Island. My heart swelled. I thought, this is it. He's going to propose. Finally. But instead, he looked me in the eye and said, "Amoka, you've been amazing to me. Honestly, I wouldn't be here without you. But I think we've outgrown each other." I laughed. A small, confused laugh. "Wait, what?" "I mean, you're an amazing woman. But I need to focus on me now. My future. There are things I want that. I'm not sure we align anymore." My food lost taste. My heartbeat quickened. "You're dumping me?" I asked quietly. "I'm transitioning," he said. That was the word. Transitioning. I stared at the man I built. The man I supported. The man I fed. And all he had to say was we've outgrown each other. No cheating scandal. No drama. Just clean, corporate heartbreak. The days after that were a blur. I didn't go to work for a week. I cried. I screamed into my pillow. I deleted his photos, reinstalled them, and deleted them again. My friends said, "You'll be fine." My mother said, "That's why I warned you about feeding a man." But deep down, I wasn't angry at them. I was angry at me. Angry for believing too hard. For giving too much. For not seeing the red flags through the rose-colored lenses of love. But life didn't stop. Bills still came. Work still needed me. And so I rose from that bed, looked in the mirror, and said to myself, you were never the problem. And I wasn't. I started healing. Slowly. I started journaling. I went to therapy. I found my laughter again. Not because someone else gave it to me, but because I fought for it. 2 years later, I bumped into Toby again. This time, I was the one at the international conference, this time as a guest speaker. He sat quietly in the back, eyes wide as I spoke about emotional intelligence in corporate leadership. When I stepped off the stage, he came to say hello. Amoka, he said, smiling awkwardly. Wow, you've really evolved. I smiled back. Yes, Toby. I've transitioned. He nodded. Silence lingered. Then he said, I made a mistake. I didn't flinch. I didn't cry. I just looked at him and said, sometimes, mistakes are lessons in disguise. For both the teacher and the student. And I walked away. After I walked away from Toby at that conference, a part of me felt vindicated. But another part still felt robbed. I had invested years. Tears. Money. My soul. And though I no longer wanted him back, the ache didn't disappear just because I was doing better. Healing isn't linear, and growth doesn't erase betrayal. Some scars stay, not to hurt you, but to remind you what you survived. Toby began texting again after that day. Hope you got home safe. You really inspire me, Amoka. Can we just talk? No expectations. I ignored them. For weeks. Then, one day, curiosity got the better of me. We met for lunch. I set my boundaries ahead, no past talk. No future talk. Just closure. He looked inner. Weary. A bit lost. I thought money would fix everything, he confessed, sipping his drink. But the higher I climbed, the emptier I felt. I thought success would fill the void. I didn't say a word. I let silence press its truth into him. Every woman I meet now, he continued, they want the lifestyle. The packs. But they don't see me. Not like you did. That's when I realized something. Toby wasn't really missing me. He was missing who he was when I loved him. And that version of him was long gone. While Toby searched for himself in shallow relationships and dollar bills, I found new light in unexpected places. I enrolled in a women's empowerment mentorship program and started a podcast, Love Lessons with Amoka. My first episode was titled, Loving Yourself Loudly. The episode went viral. Women from all walks of life messaged me, bankers, students, even married women, sharing stories of how they supported men who left as soon as success smiled at them. I realized my story was not rare. It was common. Painfully common. I wasn't just telling my story anymore. I was giving a voice to hundreds, maybe thousands, of women who were silenced by shame. And with every new message, every new listener, I felt purpose replacing pain. One night, I got an email. Subject, TEDx invitation, the power of being the one who stayed. It was surreal. The same Amoka who once cried on the bathroom floor, now standing before an audience, teaching strength through scars. My talk trended online. Blogs quoted me. Influencers reposted. Young girls said, I want to be like her. Toby saw the clip. I know he did, he liked it, even commented. I knew you'd be great. I just never knew how much I'd regret not growing beside you. But I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Some stories don't need a perfect ending. They just need closure. Dear young woman reading this. Love him. Support him. Believe in him. But don't lose yourself in him. You can nurture a man, but never raise one. You are not his rehab. You are not his second chance. You are not a tool to get him from one phase to another. Be his peace, yes. But make sure he is yours too. And if he leaves after you build him, let him. Because sometimes, the seed you water grows in someone else's garden, but that doesn't mean you didn't plant well. It just means you were too good for poor soil. It was a calm Saturday evening in Ikoyi. I stood on the rooftop terrace of the radio station, staring at the golden skyline as the sun dipped gently behind the water. My podcast team had just wrapped our 100th episode. The episode title: Closure doesn't always come with apology. The air smelled of grilled suya and possibility. I took a deep breath, remembering the girl I used to be, the one who once skipped meals so her man could eat. The one who cried herself to sleep thinking love meant sacrifice without limits. Now, I stood here, not broken. Soft, but no longer naive. Behind me, the glass doors slid open. Miss Amoka, my producer, smiled. Your guest has arrived. I turned. It wasn't Toby. It was a young woman. Just 22. Nervous eyes, notebook clutched to her chest. I just wanted to thank you, she said. Your story saved me from a situation I couldn't leave. I hugged her. Not just because I understood, but because I remembered. Later, I walked alone to my car. As I started the engine, my phone lit up. A message from an unknown number. Still proud of you, always. T. I didn't delete it. But I didn't reply either. Some endings don't need dramatic closure. Some peace comes from choosing yourself, again and again, and until your heart finally understands, you were never made to be someone's stepping stone. You were made to shine. The screen reads: To every woman who gave her all and still got left behind. Your healing is your revenge. Your success is your closure. Your peace is your power. Kindly subscribe, like, and comment for more interesting stories.